down to sleep, I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul will take. God bless Mr. and Mrs. Carruthers. God bless Rachel. God bless Sunday. God bless me. God bless Mommy and Daddy in heaven. Amen.
This is the emergency podcast system. This is not a test. Movies are bombing all over the country. They are posing as movies you already know. They may already be in your theaters, your neighbor's home, or even your own. Do not panic. Specialists have been dispatched. They will help you identify these pretenders and defend you against this invasion of the remake. Please stand by for further instructions.
Welcome to the Invasion of the Remake podcast. I'm your Crypt Keeper, Jason Bishop, and today is our first of our HorrorCon specials. Today we're spotlighting Danielle Harris, who is probably the most reigning Scream Queen currently going. It's funny how she started with Halloween 4, but wouldn't really get back into horror for another 15 years between those films, with the exception of Urban Legend, I think, was in between. So this panel here was recorded at HorrorCon, and it gets into all sorts of stuff, where she started with commercials and even Roseanne and Last Boy Scout. Lots of cool stuff here. One caveat before we get started: the panel room was extremely warm, really hot, and for some reason the Clarion Hotel doesn't have air conditioning, so they had a lot of fans going, and so there's going to be a lot of background noise. You can still hear most of the panel. A couple of the questions might be really light in the backgrounds when we get to the Q&A portion of the panel, but for the most part you can hear everything, so hopefully you can put up with the fans in the background. It's little white noise, won't never hurt anybody, but it's such a great panel. I still wanted to give that to you guys. I'm going to do this a little differently than just running the panel straight as is. When it's appropriate, I'm going to drop in a few clips and stuff just to jazz it up a little bit and have some fun. So I hope you enjoy this HorrorCon special spotlighting Danielle Harris.
Well, welcome everyone. I'm Scott Jebbitt from Daily Dead, and it is my honor to welcome Danielle Harris to Calgary. Let's give her another round of applause. Well, thanks for coming. I see you're right in the Canadian spirit right off the bat.
I don't even know what kind of beer it is, but
it doesn't matter. Just stay hydrated.
Yeah.
So, you go back quite a ways in the business.
Don't age me now.
No, I'm older than you, but you've been in the business for quite some years.
Yes.
Starting with commercials?
Yes.
Toy commercial, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it's...
There's a Hasbro newborn real baby.
A real baby depends on me. That's a big responsibility. I'm bringing a baby, a newborn real baby. You keep me busy looking after you. Of course, some things a mommy just has to do. I'm bringing a baby, a newborn real baby. Remember, I'm never far away. I'm bringing a baby, a newborn real baby from Hasbro.
All right.
And you know what's funny about that is actually I did the commercial with Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Okay.
And she was supposed to be like the lead main girl in it, and then for some reason I ended up being the girl that they used, and yeah, she was in, so we started off on a bad foot when we were 7 years old.
Still don't talk to this day.
No, we do.
So what was your first film then? Was it Halloween 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
10 years ago, on the night of October 31st, a small Midwestern town fell victim to an escaped killer. Under the cover of darkness, he carried out the most horrifying mass murder on record. 16 people in cold blood. Ever since that night, no one has forgotten his name. And Halloween has never been the same. Now, Michael Myers has come home. He has returned for one more night of unholy terror. Michael! He's here to kill that little girl and anybody who gets in his way.
Oh, God.
Who's gonna be next? Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers.
Maybe nobody knows how to stop him.
Were you familiar with horror when you got that part?
No.
And how did that, was that a general casting call?
Yep, general casting.
Okay. And you became a fan of horror, though.
Yes, then I
because
started watching them, yeah. I think I was then allowed to see them because I did one, so I kind of knew that it was all fake, so my mom was a little easier on letting me watch them.
Did you find them scary because you were making one?
Oh, yeah.
You still found them scary,
I did,
even though
yes.
you know what the magic is and all
I was
that?
scared of gremlins. It was different, though. I was scared of, like, Pet Cemetery. I was scared of I was scared of Poltergeist, so it was more of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
You know, the masked killer wasn't really scary to me because I knew there was, like, a person in there.
Right.
I knew it wasn't, like, evil, you know, like a spirit or whatever. I don't know what they say Michael is, but, so yeah. Pet Cemetery, Gremlins, Poltergeist, all those still scared.
Those still scared you.
Yeah.
I find that interesting because knowing it's like a musician who, when they learn or they're learning how to play a song, and then maybe it doesn't seem quite as magical because they know how it's put together. But I think that's
I always
great.
say this, like, even the Muppets scared me as a kid.
Okay.
We all love the Muppets, right? But in reality, if Kermit walked in the door right now, you guys would all freak out, right? If he was real,
Sure.
I would
Disturbing.
run. It'd be disturbing, right? So, well, that's scary to me.
Okay. All right. No, that's fair.
And we all know that's never going to happen. Like, I know it's a puppet.
Well.
So my brain goes, oh, it's not real. But if it actually happened, I'd shit myself.
Well, sure, of course. Who wouldn't?
I know.
Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here. Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here. Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here. Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog way back here. I always wanted to do that.
So, when you were making Halloween 4, how long did it take you to... Did you have any kind of problem realizing... were you scared at all while you were making it, or were you put at ease right away?
Everybody on set made sure that they were like my uncles or brothers or, family, so I wasn't scared of the actual, guy behind the mask, but sometimes they would have me wait on set for, like, say the scene where I'm running, screaming across the different homes that he's coming after me in the front yard. Before we yelled action, I had to wait around the corner. It was the waiting around the corner when nobody was there in the dark at night that I would get scared about. And then they'd yell action, then everybody would, then you run out and there's like 100 people standing there, so you feel fine. But it's right before that you're like, oh, it's dark, I'm scared. I know, it's crazy. And then some of the stuff that we had to do, like the roof stuff, that stuff was scary for me. Just heights and just being scared of,
So stuff that a normal kid would be scared of.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I get that for sure. What was it like? You got to work with Donald Pleasance.
Yeah.
What was he like? He's one of my all-time favorite actors.
We didn't have a lot to talk about, But he was really nice to me and, was lovely and came in and was super professional and did his job. I had no idea who he was. So to me, it was just the old guy in the coat. basically.
Fair. That's fair.
But and he had an accent, and I don't think I'd ever heard anyone with an accent before.
Sure.
So he was like this enigma. So he was very nice to me. Though.
Were you surprised at all by the success of Halloween 4?
I'm still surprised by it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about it 30 years later. Like that's insane to me.
Yeah, well, it was kind of a series that was considered dead.
Right,
because of the third one kind of put the nail in the coffin on it. And, obviously Michael being the key to it being, resurrected.
So dumb for them to do that to the third one.
I think if it had been called something else, it probably would have done better.
That's how I feel about Halloween 5 and about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. If it hadn't been Halloween, like they're good movies separately, but like 4 is better than 5 in my opinion.
Yeah.
But 5 is a cool movie if it didn't follow Halloween 4.
Sure.
It's a totally different style.
Yeah, I like the Man in the Black. I like that
it's kind of a cool idea.
okay.
If it was just something else, it would
I'll
have been
follow
way
it.
better.
We're horror fans. We'll follow pretty much anything
I know.
if it's not too ridiculous, or even if it is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So as a kid, once you got the horror bug, what became some of your favorite horror movies?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I watched all the Freddys, all the Jasons. Like that just opened up all of that stuff for me. And I didn't really meet the guys. I mean, I guess I did. I only did a few like conventions when I was really young, and then I didn't until I was older. I mean, I only did one horror movie shockingly enough, between Halloween 5 and Rob Zombies. I only did one horror movie.
Right.
Which is crazy considering that everyone always like, oh, you've always done horror movies. I only did urban legend in between the two.
Right.
So from 1989 to 2007, there was nothing.
So what was it like to get back into the genre then with urban legend? Because that's another one that was a hit at the time, riding that post-Scream wave, and still has a great reputation.
I think that they just made really good movies back then. They were really fun, and I'm hoping that it gets back to that, because we kind of missed out on that for a long time. So I always like to keep it simple, and I think that maybe we're coming back to that nowadays. But it was cool to be part of that.
Last week we discussed folklore. Today we get more specific. This is what we call an urban legend. Contemporary folklore passed on as a true story. Something you might have heard about mixing pop rocks and soda.
Supposedly, your stomach and your intestines first.
Voila, still alive. Mr. Ross, please.
He's gonna explode! Somebody call 911!
They are the legends we've all heard.
Gang members drive around at night with their headlights off. And when someone goes to flash from their high beams to warn them, they kill them.
The stories we've all told.
A guy and a girl, and they're parked out in the woods. And the guy steps out, and the girl starts to hear these scratching noises. It's her dead boyfriend hung from a tree.
The tales we've all listened to.
Isn't there another story about a guy with an axe hiding in a woman's back seat?
My mom still checks the back seat before getting into a car.
But just because it never happened doesn't mean it never will.
The decapitated body was found in her car.
I knew I should have gone to NYU.
This girl, she could have been any one of us.
What if there is a lunatic on campus?
What is he gonna do next, huh? Maybe put spider eggs in bubble gum? The idea of an urban legend serial killer. It's a stretch.
The call's coming from inside the house.
Could it be an urban legend? Something I can help you with. Know what's going on here.
Someone out there is taking all these urban legends and making them reality.
Urban legend.
Have you heard the one about the microwave?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the TV shows during that time, like everything was like our age.
Yeah.
Everything that was on the air was like our generation.
Very much so.
It doesn't, now it's like kind of all over the place.
Exactly. Well, you have Unfriended, which is teens and
Right.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
I know.
I like it, but I don't understand it.
I watch Netflix and reality shows. So.
There you go. HGTV for me.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was the one franchise, but then you jumped into another franchise as well with, I guess before I talk about that one, you came back for, how did you get involved with Rob Zombie and his Halloween reimagining?
I was actually at a convention in Boston, I think, and a fan came up to me and said, "Oh, I heard you're going to be doing the new Halloween." And I was like, "Oh, really? What new Halloween?" And they said, "Oh, Rob Zombie's directing it." And I said, "Oh, really? I love Rob Zombie. That's crazy." He's like, "Yeah, they're remaking the original." I'm like, "Well, that doesn't really make sense." I'm like, "Yeah, you're going to be Laurie." I said, "I am?" That's weird. And then I went home and started looking. I mean, this is, even just to say that I wasn't really on the internet that much, you know? It seems like we should have been, but it really was kind of like, I think I saw it at AOL. I think I saw it at AOL. But anyway. And so I called my manager and said, "Hey, I think they're doing another Halloween, and it'd be kind of cool after all these years to maybe just do like a cameo, like a walk-on, like someone working in a store or whatever. It would be just fun for me and fans to see me as an adult kind of back in." And so she, sent a message along, and Rob was like, "Don't want anyone in the movie that's going to be any of the Halloweens. I don't want anybody." So I was like, well, there goes my shot. And then casting said, "You know what? Bring her in for Annie." Obviously not Laurie, because it's just would be stupid. Bring her in for Annie, and just get her on tape and have Rob see it. Just to maybe we can like sway him one way or another.
Right.
So I went in and did it. And then I think I said something ridiculous, because you had to say like on tape if you would do nudity, they want to make sure they get it like recorded. And I said something like, "Who doesn't want to see Jamie Lloyd boobs?" And then Rob was like, "Oh my God, she's like such an asshole. I think she fits perfect for Annie." And then I ended up getting the job. So.
Well, that is very much Annie's character. She's very acerbic and very sarcastic.
Yeah, so it worked. I mean, I wouldn't have been right for Linda. I wouldn't have been right for Laurie. It just kind of Annie sort of fit at the time. So I was glad to come back.
I find in his movies and he does this very well, because I'm a big Rob Zombie fan too, is his casting is spot on.
Yeah.
And that he will pick people who are familiar from our generation. Right. And even before, and put them in roles that doesn't draw attention to the fact of who they're known as, but actually gives them full characters that live and breathe on their own.
And what's also cool about him is he's actually not in the room when you're auditioning.
Okay.
For anybody, because this is him saying this. I asked him why, and he said because he would be swayed one way or another because he would like them so much that he didn't want to give him the job. And really, you guys are only seeing that person on film.
Sure.
So on the screen, so he wants to see them for the first time on the screen as well, and that's how he casts.
Okay. Yeah. So how long was that shoot for you on Halloween?
I think I only worked there a week.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We shot it pretty fast.
Pretty fast.
Maybe 2 weeks in Pasadena. Yeah. Halloween 2, on the other hand, I kept being wrapped out and having to go back to film in Georgia.
Okay. Was that a harder shoot, Halloween 2?
I had more to do.
Yeah.
For sure, but I felt like that Annie was a little more like me.
Okay.
It was nice to be able to sort of see the transition of, I mean, I had to play feistier and younger. I had to young myself up for the first Halloween, because I was 30 playing, 16, opposite a real 16 or 17-year-old.
Right.
So I had to sort of dub myself up a little bit, I would say. There's just something about, like, kids are just a little...
Naive.
Yeah, naive. But then what was cool is I could come back, a year and a half later as the same character and could act more my age and be able to use the fact that I had this, traumatic birth experience that just makes you grow up really fast. So that's why there was a big shift in Annie's personality. And I liked stuff that Brad Dourif and I and Scout did in that movie. I just felt like that movie, there was like 3 movies going on in one.
Right.
He kind of couldn't figure out, I think, which one he wanted to make.
I love Halloween 2 out there too.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Just because
totally
it is totally different, and it kind of, after doing the first one where the first half of the movie was kind of his own thing, and then the back half was more of an homage to the original.
Mm-hmm.
The second one just went off and ran.
More Rob, But again, I got wrapped out a bunch of times. I kept going back because he kept rewriting stuff and adding things. So
Right.
he was still changing things and trying to figure it out as we were going. Where I think his original remake probably had that in his head for like 30 years.
Sure.
That's why that was so clean, you
Yeah.
know, where the other one was a little messy.
It's messy, but it's a
raw.
glorious mess.
Yeah, it's good.
You're not in that 3 from Hell, are you?
No, I'm not. I know. Everyone harasses him to be in his movie. They just don't want to be that person that calls and goes, please, Raj.
He should be calling you.
Everybody calls.
You're Annie Brackett.
I know.
What's up with the booze?
Oh, yeah. Meet my new best friend.
Is this how your new work friends roll?
Maybe. Jealous.
Whatever.
You know what, Annie? I don't need your shit.
You don't need my shit? You don't need my shit? I put up with your shit 24/7.
You better back the fuck off.
Or what? Huh? The fuck are you gonna do? You know what? You act like you're the only one whose life got fucking trashed. I am so not buying the new Lori act. I'm not putting up with your mommy shit.
Get the fuck out of my room. Get the fuck out of my room.
I'm not impressed.
But again, I had jumped ahead, but there's that other franchise which is I absolutely adore, which is the Hatchet franchise as Mary Beth. You came on as the second Mary Beth.
Yeah, because he didn't cast me in the first one. I auditioned for him and he cast somebody else.
So the second time around, you came knocking on the door?
Yeah, because then that actress was being difficult. For the second one, he called me and said, "I'm really sorry because she's in the first one. Would you please?" So stupid. Fine. But, you know, because I auditioned for it, he thought it would be too much to have too many genre people in one movie. He thought it was getting to be stupid for the first one. So but like, that's what makes it fun. I don't think Rob Zombie has a problem casting people that have been in different, horror movies in one movie. So I don't know. So now he realized, oh wait, that actually kind of works. So
and it's not stunt casting if it's the lead in the film.
No.
It's if you have Robert Englund on a little rowboat.
Right.
That's stunt casting.
Right.
But as the lead, that isn't.
Right.
But those are great.
I mean, I love those. I love that character. I'm glad I got to do. He has me just doing all kinds of dumb shit all the time. I mean, he's always making. I had to start Hatchet 2 never having done Hatchet 1. So like it was like day one. Normally in a horror movie, like as the lead, you have a chance to like not have scenes where you're a total wreck. For me, I had to like start the movie at the end where the other girl
were ramped up, right?
So
yeah, exactly.
There was never any downtime for me, so it was really, really gnarly shoot. And then in the third one, I'm handcuffed the whole movie, holding an urn, like
as you do,
in the swamp. It's like 110 degrees,
right? Covered
in fake blood that's made of candy syrup, with like getting eaten by whatever those things are, chiggers.
Right.
Yeah, it was lovely to get out of your skin. So.
And Victor Crowley was certainly a surprise because it was 4 years later and no one even thought, just showed up.
It did.
And he said, here you go. And that's a fun one as well.
Yeah, he did they shot that in like 10 days. I was glad I wasn't in that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad I didn't have to shoot that.
Right.
For 10 days in that, situation. It was good. He lucked out because he told me that I wasn't going to be in it before he knew that I was pregnant.
Okay.
So I said, don't start telling people that you couldn't cast me because I was pregnant because you wrote it without me. And he was like, what? Because I was like, you're really going to... And the thing was, is none of the cast that came knew that I was at the end. He didn't give that to anyone that was in the movie.
Right.
Tiffany, Felissa, like Harry, nobody knew that I was coming back to that little piece.
Right.
Except Kate. Because they didn't have it in the script. And then I came back and then... Now we're on to the next two. Hopefully we can get those going.
Yeah. Oh, no, that'd be great.
God knows what he's going to have me do. I said no peg leg or whatever. Please don't make me do something stupid.
No.
He will.
Keep it classy, like all the other Hatchet.
And Holliston. You see what he has me do in Holliston?
Oh, boy.
Oh, God. Yeah. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you in the bed?
Yes, I'm in the bed. In the bed I am. Okay, Dr. Seuss.
Oh my God. I've been dreaming about this ever since I saw Halloween 4.
I was 10.
Right, but I was 10 when I saw it. So there wasn't anything inappropriate about it. I think a lot of 10-year-olds find other 10-year-olds incredibly sexy.
Stop talking.
Okay.
I am going to destroy you, Andrew.
Adam. My name's Adam. You can call me Andrew.
You can call me Jamie Lloyd.
What?
Do it!
Jamie Lloyd. Jamie Lloyd.
That's better.
Oh my God.
Don't open your mouth, Andrew.
Like that?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, just like that.
I can't believe I'm kissing the girl from the Halloween movies. Ow! Oh, my teeth.
Hey, Boo.
Who?
Those happy pills that you gave me are all gone, and my poor little head's still pounding. Do you think you can get me some more?
You took all of those pills? There were 15 in that bottle.
I get really bad migraines, okay? Actually, my head's starting to hurt me right now. It is. It's hurting me really bad. I'm so sorry. It's just killing my mood.
I could get you more pills. I could get another tooth pulled in the morning if you want. Yes, I do that all the time. What is it? Tomorrow's like, what, Wednesday?
That's my boo.
Okay.
That's my boo. Do you like clowns? Huh?
I love boobs. God, I can't wait for you to meet my mom.
Stop!
What now?
Put this on.
On my face?
Do you want to have sex with me or not?
I do, but
Then put on the mask!
Okay. I can't really see anything.
That's so much better. Oh, yeah, Uncle Mike. Oh, gosh, little Jamie's been a bad girl. Been such a bad, naughty nut.
I can't breathe. Is there like a safe orbit?
Yeah, Adam, I had another nip.
Pain?
Oh, hey, D. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Oh, God, he's in the den! He's in the den! Oh, this reminds me of Monster Mania. Remember, it was you, me, Mick Garris, Steve Wallace, Danny Trejo, Bill Moseley, Sid Haig, and that 6'8" Nigerian ladyboy. Oh, that was crazy. Who's on the bottom? Berryman? I think it was Berryman. No. It was Angus Scrim.
Oh, Angus Scrim!
It's too weird! It's too weird!
What's going on?
Michael Myers tried to molest me.
What?
Was that the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.
So speaking of Kane, the second Hatchet movie, was this around the time that you started working with him? Because was he not in your first movie that you directed? Or the second?
I did. Well, Among Friends is the only feature that I've directed. So Kane was in it after I did Hatchet 2.
Okay.
Before Hatchet 3.
Okay. So Hatchet 2 was the first time that you had worked together with...
We did Fear Clinic together. Which was
the TV series,
web
right? The web series
on,
with
Fear,
Robert
on
and
FearNet,
right.
yeah. So we did that together.
Ready to confront your worst fears, Susan? Tell them how your fear of the dark has locked you away from life. Imprisoned you in your own home.
My shrinks told me kids stop being afraid of the dark at 9 years old. But it's not the dark that scares me.
It's what lives inside it.
Actually, Kane was in the last Boy Scout with me.
He was one of the stuntmen.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So we always talk about that. His mullet. Google Kane Hodder mullet.
He had a glorious mullet. He
It's really great,
did.
right? It's really good.
Yeah.
So I give him a lot of shit. He's like my brother. I mean, I love Kane. So yeah, I had to do Among Friends after that. Because he's such a good actor, and he always says, "Like, I want to say stuff in movies," Sure. So I was like, "Well, come on set," and he's really, Mensa. Like he's really, really smart, and he's really dirty-minded too. So I wanted to sort of put that on film because he never gets to sort of just be his dirty, sarcastic self on film. So I let him just say what he wanted to say.
Speaking of directing, do you have any plans to do that again?
Yeah, I'm actually constantly looking for scripts. I was going to do a movie that I did a movie last year with Joe Dante produced, but after working on set, and he said, "Oh, I think you need to be behind the camera." So I know I've been trying to get back there, and he said I would like to do something with you. So he had sent me something that I liked, and the writers didn't work out, so he sent me some other things, and we're just trying to find the right thing for me to do. So I read something recently that I liked, but it's like I want it to be like the perfect thing, and I know it's out there, so I'm just trying to find the right thing. Because you spend like 2 years of your life on it, so I want to make sure. And Among Friends is great as it was. I only got like 9 days to shoot that, and like 2 days of pre-production, and I was just hired to like come in and do this job, whatever I could.
Right. That's like Cornwall.
Polish the turd, and that's it. It's all you can do. In 10 days to edit, you're like, okay, well, like there
But
we
it's
go.
great to have that opportunity to
just try
to learn.
See.
Yeah.
It could only get easier from there.
So when did that bug first hit you along the way?
It's been a long time. Yeah. I mean, I did a little short film. We were doing an anthology after Halloween, after 2007. That was me, Heather Langenkamp, and Ellie Cornell, and I was the only one that ended up finishing it. And then there was an issue; they lost financing, so we couldn't finish the other two. It was called Prank. So I started there, and then I did it's called Snakeland, which I actually really like. On the DVD, there's these little short films before that explain the backstories of the characters. So I was in it, but I directed one about one of the other characters. And so I've kind of been just dabbling a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get scripts all the time or offers for movies that are like directors have no idea what they're doing, and the scripts are like not that great, and they have to find money to make movies. I'm like, how am I not like making real movies that I know you guys would want to see?
Right.
And I know how to do it, so let's just make it happen. So I'm on the hunt.
Great. You hear that? Screenwriters out there, get on it. One of the other things I found fascinating is your voice work, especially your voice work with, I didn't know this, the wild thorn bears.
Mom, Dad, I can't leave. Tally never would have been out on the plains if it wasn't for me. It's all my fault.
Eliza, how can it be your fault?
But I have to go back out there.
No. We make these rules for a reason, Eliza. And if I have to send you away to be safe, I will.
Dad? Please.
Poppet, your intentions are noble, but you're just too young. I'm sorry.
That's crazy. How did you get involved in that?
I did a lot of voiceovers, so it was just, I have not done a cartoon though. So that was just the lucky looking of the job. I wish they bring that back. You know what was even cooler actually is a show that I did for NBC that DreamWorks did called Father of the Pride.
Yes.
That I think aired like 3 episodes. It was about, if anyone saw it, it was
based on
Siegfried and Roy. And it was the White Lions. So we were the lions, and it was John Goodman, Cheryl Hines, myself, Carl Reiner, and then we had like Eddie Murphy on and Danny DeVito on, and all of these characters and Siegfried and Roy characters. And right before we premiered, Roy got mauled by the fucking lion in real life. So none of our jokes are funny anymore. I mean, you really can't make fun of someone that almost died. He was in the hospital, in like ICU, and we got the call going, what are the odds that that would happen. Because we were nominated for a People's Choice Award for Best New Show. And then after 3 episodes, we went back and tried to, it takes a year to make an episode, you know?
Yeah.
So we went back and tried to re-record and change stuff, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah, because had that not happened, that was...
Oh my God, it was groundbreaking.
Right, and that was right around the time when, and they still are, I mean, shows like Simpsons, Family Guy, American Dad, it would have fit right into that.
I know, and they're great. You can get it on DVD, they're really fun, they're really smart too.
Damn you, Roy. Oh, does anyone have any questions?
No one's gonna raise their hands.
There you go.
Come on, there you go.
Halloween 4, there was a buddy of mine brought it to my attention. I hadn't noticed it before, but that blonde mask. There was a blonde mask in the school scene, I think it was. How did that end up coming to be?
You know, I always thought it was a mistake, and then I was just with someone recently and I don't remember what the explanation was, but there was actually a reason why they chose to have the hair blonde. I think there was something about in the original. Does anyone know the answer? Does anyone see this or hear this? Because I always thought, like, oh, that's weird. Michael's supposed to have brown hair.
It's like Ben Tramer mask or something from the first movie. I think it was.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
There was some...
They still have them, like, on set, the old... Or not the first mask, but maybe the...
Nobody, all of the artists that come on to do the makeup, they make their own. They start over.
Oh.
I don't even know. I'm sure they've kept... Whoever made those kept them after they wrap up.
Yeah.
Such a good movie. It's such a bad mask.
I know.
That's okay. That's all right. Does anyone else have any questions? Anyone? Yes, sir.
I think I first saw you in Roseanne. They have really iconic Halloween episodes, but you haven't Roseanne.
I didn't have any, I didn't get to do the Halloween episode.
Seems like an oversight.
Oh, I have Roseanne stories. I love Roseanne, actually. She was really great to me. I mean, I think she's obviously a lunatic, but she was really, really nice to me. I actually came on the show because back in the day, there used to be movie of the weeks, like on like prime time. They don't really do that much anymore. This before, I think, really cable, like a lot of cable was happening. So I did a movie of the week with Roseanne and Tom, which is married to Tom Arnold at the time, and it was called The Woman Who Loved Elvis. And Bill Bixby, the Incredible Hulk, directed it, actually, and he was lovely, lovely, lovely. And we shot it in Ottumwa, Iowa, where Tom was from, this little teeny tiny podunk town. And we got along great. And she asked if I wanted to be on her show. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll be on your show. Thinking like an episode. I'd never done a live audience show in my life. And then I was hired to do 17 episodes with a 3-year contract. And my mind was blown. And I was scared out of my mind. Because it was like the #1 show on the air at the time. And I had no comedic live audience experience. I was doing dramatic, movies. Action movies and horror movies and like not comedy for sure. So that's why my character was from Iowa, like the cheesy with the big hair, and then that was kind of the idea. And the girl that was my sister is actually the little girl from Mommy Dearest, which is kind of crazy because I love that movie growing up.
Sure.
And I still love the movie. That's why there's no wire hangers in the house. And so what? I just told this story the other day. I've never told the story before. So we were on set one day, and this is a horrible story. I don't even know if I should tell it, but so it was Roseanne and Tom's anniversary, and she decided she was going to hire this company to come and teach you how to strip for your man. So this couple came during lunch one day, and we did it on the Darlene's bedroom set. And it was me, Laurie Metcalf, Sandra Bernhardt, Sarah Gilbert, and Roseanne, and this husband and wife, and they were doing, I was 15. I mean, I was a very mature 15, but I was 15. And I just remember this woman did something where she did a handstand on the floor and flipped her legs behind, the guy was sitting in a chair, and the woman went down and flipped her legs behind her husband. And my mind was just blown. What crazier is that then they had to try to teach Roseanne how to do it. It was hilarious.
I bet.
I mean, it was out of control and so fun, and we had such a good time, and I was so glad that they included me in all of that. And then a couple days later, Rosie knocked on my trailer before, and apparently somebody called Child Protective Services, and they came to set to interview my mother. My mom was like, I gave her permission. Like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, she's a minor, but you've been... And I think the only people that could have probably done it were the people that came and actually did it, because nobody else was on set. Everybody else was at lunch.
Right.
So she tried to include me and have fun stuff like that, so I'll never forget that move. I'll never forget Roseanne doing a headstand, trying to flip her legs over this poor guy sitting in a chair. It was awful. But what a great story, right?
I'm picturing now.
They're going on a cruise. She wanted this new special for him. It's insanity.
But you were talking about how you did horror and action and you were nervous to do comedy.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing that maybe it actually wasn't that hard, or it worked out better than you thought, because horror and comedy both rely so much on timing.
Interesting. I mean, I still think I sucked on that show.
No.
I never had funny things to say. I mean, I was always the one that set up dark. I even went to her at some point and said, I don't feel like I'm doing a good job. Because I never get any laughs ever, because I never have anything funny to say.
You're the straight
I'm the
man.
straight one, and she
Yeah.
just nails it, and I'm just like, she just moves around like a little pawn, you know? So I always felt like, I always leave crying, like, I didn't do a good job. So I still haven't done a live audience since like Boy Meets World. It's been a minute. I'm still a little like with the live audience.
Maybe they'll have you on the Connors.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Come on, Molly, let's go. It's getting late. So cute. Which one do you want? The one that'll kill you and stuff you into a trunk.
Come on, will you lighten up?
Look, I have a boyfriend. I don't need these jerks. Now, can we get out of here? It's been like an hour and a half.
Well, it's my car and I'm not ready to go. I'm still looking for the perfect guy, okay?
Oh, it's a good thing we're in a parking lot full of drunken losers. Shouldn't be hard to spot that white horse.
So you guys coming or what?
Well, I'm definitely gonna go, but Darlene here's kind of shy.
Look, we don't have to go anywhere. I got a couple of joints in the van. Yeah, Darlene, you look like a real partier.
Any part of you that touches me, you're not getting back.
I'm going without you.
I'm not standing in this parking lot alone. Give me the keys and I'll drive home.
Let Sean drive you home.
Yeah, I'll drive you home.
Oh, God.
Look, just 15 minutes, I promise.
Does anyone else have any questions?
Come on, I have good stories, yeah.
Oh, I was just wondering.
Sorry.
Oh, no, you go first.
No,
fine.
go.
Okay. My question was, you've worked with some notorious, I don't know, but for stories like hard directors, like picky directors, I guess would be the nice way to put it, like Adam Green, people very vision. Do you have who's harder to work for, Rob Zombie or Adam Green?
Neither one, actually.
I'm shocked.
No, they're both fanboys. So they don't really fuck with me.
I guess you ever handed them. Oh, good.
They kind of geek out.
I'm glad.
You know, they're a little bit like, oh my god, Danielle's in the movie. So they don't they don't. With Rob, I'd have to be careful what I would say on set because he'd hang out with us, which most directors don't do because he's doing other things. He'd let everybody else do it, and then he would sit, behind where our chairs were, wherever we were, like a holding area while they're doing other stuff. And he would talk to us or hear me talk to the girls. And then you would get new pages the next day where he would write the way you speak. And you're like, I was just tough. That's really weird. Or he'd have his headphones on, and you're talking, you don't know that he's listening to you. So your microphone's not supposed to be on. And then you say stuff, and then we've talked about it, and he's like, well, I don't know how 17-year-old girls talk. So I just heard how girls talk, and so you gotta be careful what you say when you're on set with them. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Danielle, just two quick questions. With all the films that you've done, especially since Halloween 4, a lot of the films are very physically intensive. And out of all the films you've ever worked on, what was probably the most physically intensive film that probably gave you the most bumps and bruises. And I guess the second question is, it's like I told you this morning. The Last Boy Scout was the first movie I ever seen you in. It's still to this day one of my favorite action films of all time. And you just had so many great, awesome interactions, with Bruce Willis, especially the whole puppet scene and the whole daughter scene where you're cursing at him. And I wanted to know if you had any stories regarding filming The Last Boy Scout, as well as the first question.
I really hope people don't actually watch these videos after
Is this recording?
Oh God. I have had a pretty crazy life outside of, the stories of making movies and stuff. Like things that happen in my real life are pretty insane, and I remember saying not too long ago, like, is this real life? Does this stuff happen to normal people? And the person I asked, my therapist, said, you were started in the horror movies, and in real life my dad had passed away when I was very young, so she's like, you lost a parent and you started horror movies and you're famous when you're like 7, so you can't expect the rest of your life to be totally normal. It kind of sets you up for that stuff. So anyway, I've had a pretty crazy life, so yes, I have some stories, which I'm going to write a memoir. I'm going to start taking classes because there's some shit that will blow your mind.
Yes.
So
Scared? Shitless. You? More or less.
Hey, Milo.
Hey, mister. Do you like my puppet?
Get this kid out of here.
My name is Furry Tom.
I said get out of here, kid.
No, kid stays.
Can you make him talk? Huh? Go on. Try. Go ahead, take it.
Okay. It's riddle time.
Why did Mr. Milo cross the road?
I don't know why.
Because his dick was stuck in a chicken.
Furball?
Yeah. Furry Tom thinks this is probably the first pussy a lot of you guys have seen in a long time. Especially this fat fuck over here. Where'd you get this suit, Grandpa? Gangsters arrest?
So, Bruce Willis. So the scene in the park where I come in with the puppet, he thought it would be really funny if I came in like I had a handicap. Like I came in with Downs, and I didn't understand what he was talking about. So he was doing it, trying to show me how to do it. It was really insulting and horrific. And he was just laughing. I was like, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand. So I'm handicapped. I'm mentally handicapped and by myself in the woods, like going up to you with a puppet. Like, what the hell is going on here? So I ended up not doing it that way, thank God. We might have filmed one, and then Tony was like, and then another great one we lost, Tony Scott. He's my favorite director, actually. And then my character was supposed to have headgear. So my braces at the time were fake because I had got my real braces off already. So Tony Scott actually drove me to the dentist. And first time I ever rode in a Porsche and was like, I love this car. With his Labrador in the back. It drove me to the dentist and fit me for this fake, like, retainer-looking thing that had brace caps on the metal, so it looked like I had braces. And that's why I'm speaking a little slurry in it because I have this thing in my mouth. But I was supposed to wear this big headgear that Shane Black wrote, and I came on set day one, and Bruce looked at me with this thing around my head, and he was like, oh, hell no. My daughter is not going to wear that in the movie. That was awful. Take that off. I was like, oh, thank God. Thank God, this is so ugly. So I took it off and didn't have to wear it. That was pretty much all he said to me throughout the 6 months that we shot.
That's one of the nice Bruce Willis stories.
I love Damon Wayans. People always ask me how do you like working with Bruce Willis, and my response is usually I love Damon Wayans. So that was that. What was your other question?
Getting beat physically, yeah.
intensive, or probably the film where you suffered the most bumps and bruises.
God, there's so many of them. God.
Did you ever break a bone or pull a muscle on set? Or?
Yeah, but doing stupid things. Like on Free Willy. I mean, for real. Like, I broke my foot on Free Willy. I dislocated my knee falling in a pothole when I was walking shopping when I was filming Urban Legend. Like, never any I had this epic scene.
Remember that stunt? Yeah. No.
It's,
when I went shopping?
Exactly. And I ran across the street with too many fucking bags and fell in a pothole. Yeah. That scene. I did a movie. One of the hardest movies for me to do was a movie called Shiver that I did with John Jarrett, who's fantastic. We shot it in Portland, and I get taken. He plays a killer, obviously. I get taken, and I have this really pretty violent, almost rape scene between he and I. And we filmed in this dilapidated house. It was freezing, and there were fleas and bugs everywhere, and I was in this awful mattress and barely clothed, and he had a really hard time doing it to me because he's got 2 daughters my age, and I'd never been in a scene where it went on for that long. So I was so excited to take a movie where I could just be act my ass off, and I spent a lot of time drinking whiskey after I'd go home at night because it was really hard to shake off, and I never thought. I'm I just show up for work and just do my job, and boom, I'm done. I go home and I'm me again, and it was really difficult emotionally. So I did it once, and I won't ever take a role again because it seems like I could really sink my teeth into it. It's going to be a lot of work. That's what new actors do. Now I'm number 5 on the call sheet, 2 days a week. The rest I get to wander around. Awesome. The less screaming and crying I have to do,
sure.
Sign me up. But
well, you've done your share.
I've done my share. Now I'm just the girl that physically fights the monster. I just did this movie in Scotland for the last month called Redwood, Massacre, Annihilation. It's actually a very, very similar character to Mary Beth, which is great because I love that character. And I have these epic fight scenes where I'm fighting these huge guys. So I got to do all this awesome training, boxing stuff that I was it was just really, really cool.
Any weapons, or was it all hand to hand?
No, it was weapons too.
Yeah.
You had to beat the shit out of guys with 9mm. Nice. Oh yeah, I did all broke bones and choked people out, and big, huge dudes. It was awesome. So I had a really good time, and I did pretty good. I definitely could, they're not supposed to be hitting back, but definitely held my own. But I'm still bruised from that.
Yeah.
No, we just got back a week ago, but yeah. But I love that stuff.
Oh, great.
That's good. You guys, everyone watched on Instagram. I posted one of the little boxing scene I had. I can't post the other big fight stuff because it's going to give it away. But it's pretty awesome.
Sweet. Anyone else have any questions over here?
Yeah, you talk about screaming and crying and fighting the big bad guy. I feel Blood Knight. Kind of took the opposite side of that.
It's hard. Being the killer's hard. I was I remember saying to Bill, this sucks. I don't and the director would call my boom swag a boom because you would hear me walking down the hallways because I had a heavy block. So it definitely is more, it's hard. It's an art to be, behind the mask. There's a lot of timing and needing to make it, you have to make it, the kills have to be spot on. It's easy for me, maybe because I just done it so much, it's easy for me to be the victim. I try to always find cool ways to do it. I never ever want to be here's a good example off of something but kind of along the lines. There's the scene in Rob Zombie's Halloween where Annie runs out the front door, right? And I remember seeing that in the trailer, and that wasn't in the script. In the actual script, my scene was supposed to be the way Maya died in the second one, which I was supposed to be grabbed on the way to the kitchen. So here's the way the first movie went. Annie's having sex, Michael comes in, rips the boyfriend off of her, she screams, runs to the kitchen, grabs a knife out of the drawer, he throws it out of her hand and grabs her, takes her to the dining room, throws her on the dining room table, and then stabs her. That's all you were supposed to see in the end. What happened was we were shooting, and Rob likes to put 2 or 3 cameras, and usually he hides them, and I don't ever know where they are. Because there's been many times when I've like run around a corner and it hits, they wouldn't see me, and then I'm like, fucking cameras right there, just tell me where you're hiding these cameras. So when I got off the couch and he was just letting us play it out, there wasn't really rehearsal. He just lets us do what we want to do. I ran right by the front door to go to the kitchen, and I just instinctively was like, oh, why would I go? I'm gonna go out the fucking front door. Like, why would you run upstairs or in that or past your exit? So I went out the front door, and Tyler couldn't get me fast enough. So that he was like, God, brilliant. Fuck yeah, get a camera across the street. Let's do it again. And I was like, great, but he's got to catch me. Because I will be down the stairs and the scene will happen outside the exterior if we don't, like, come get me, motherfucker. My thing was, like, I'm the sheriff's daughter, right? So in real life,
there's some survival instincts.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to. So I wasn't going to just do what was written there. So the good thing about being directors of horror, being fans, and also, like, having done so many movies, is I don't want to step on the director's feet, but I try to say, hey, this would be really cool. Or, hey, I think this is more realistic. Or, we could do this. And then usually they go, yeah, sure, try it. That's cool. And they'll let me do it. And that's what usually ends up making it into the movies.
But if you keep going upstairs, or keep going out the door and not upstairs, you're going to shorten all of our favorite movies for like half an hour.
It's such a come get me. I know. But that stuff is really fun. But the killer is a really hard job. It gets, there's a lot of work that goes into that, that's for sure. So I kind of rather be on the other side. Then I don't have to work as much. The killer's a too. I know, I seem crazy for not wanting to work that much, but it's a lot of work.
It's a to-do.
It's a lot of work. Because you guys see, like, 3 minutes of the crazy, where those 3 minutes take us 3 weeks to shoot.
Sure.
And it's like you have to be in that heightened state of like you're just a mess for weeks. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna take it.
Did you think of like former agents or something like that to get into that mindset?
No, it just sort of happens. So the movie I just did in Scotland, one of the guys was doing a kill scene for the first time, and one of the actresses too, and they were asking me about like, my motivation and my this and like whatever, and she's like, I think, one of the actresses was like, I think that, I can't wait to see it. She says it's going to be really funny to see like how, like what comes out of it, like how I react when I have my kill scene. And I was like, funny? It should be fucking horrific. Like what? And I also said that there's another actress that was there. She was not doing a great job, and her and I have been talking about kids or whatever, and I was trying to get her to just be real and just think about what you're saying. And she said something like, her line was, "You're gonna die down here," is what she said to me. And she was doing this like weird thing, and I said to her, "Okay, imagine if you were really saying that to me in real life. I have 2 children. If I ran into you and you were saying to me, and I have 2 babies at home, and you were saying to me, you're gonna die down here. How do you feel about that?" She goes, "Oh my God, that's horrible." And I was like, "Yes, that's horrible. Let's try that. Just really say it to me. I don't get it. Like, there's no like, I can't wait to see what happens. Like, you're gonna fucking die. Act. Like, just do it. Just think about that person's really gonna kill you. Like, there shouldn't be this like all these ideas of like, just be there and just see what it feels like." Someone's like, "Oh, how do you prepare?" It's like, no, someone actually is running after me in real life. Like, they're really there. There's a human being chasing me. Like, no matter how, like, you can't shake it. Like, you're going to hyperventilate. Yeah. For real in real life. Yeah. So, and you can see it. I watch movies where I'm like, oh, that actor just phoned that shit in, or like, oh wow, that was really good. Yeah. I try to keep it as real as possible.
Keep it real, people. Yes, sir.
Okay. More of a philosophical.
Oh no.
It's not that.
Do I need another drink?
So, as an actor and actress in the 80s, if you were in a horror movie, audience perception, and maybe Hollywood as well, was that once you're in a horror movie, that's it. Like, so Jamie Lee Curtis, got stuck in it. Like, they kept casting her in the same role over and over and over again. it wasn't until later on in her career that she was able to break out, go into other movies, comedies, whatever. Do you think it's easier now for an actress or an actor who's in a horror movie to transition to other genres, not be typecast?
I think it happens in every genre. Okay, so I don't think it's just horror. I think Adam Sandler plays Adam Sandler in every Adam Sandler movie. I think Jennifer Aniston is Jennifer Aniston in every Jennifer Aniston movie. You know, it's so I think that when people know you do something really well, they just keep giving it to you. Do I think that Adam Sandler is actually really fucking good in drama? Yes, I do. Do I think most of these actors can really do anything? Yes. I think people that are paying the bills and doing the casting are very narrow-minded, and they think, oh, that works, I have to just keep doing it. Hence why we have all these remakes again. Again, it's coming back. Like, it went away, we were like, okay, now they're really shitty. Now, like, stuff's coming right back again because, I mean, look, it's like, what was that movie? It's like Blair Witch, you know, or like Paranormal Activity. Like, everyone just jumps on the bandwagon to keep people in the box. We just have to make sure we do other things. You know, I got cast in Urban Legend, and then I did like 5 roles where I was the goth girl. And I had to say, like, I can't do this anymore. It just, it's not fun. But I'm usually the girl they offer the opening role to. I'm either the final girl, the heroine, that beats up the bad guy, or I'm the opening scene where I die quickly because it's like a good cameo and they can like pay me for a day. So I have to go, I don't really want to do that anymore. What else can I do? You know, how can I find fun things to make it a little bit different? So I think maybe Jordan Peele's opening that up a little bit more, you know, for people. But I think it's really hard because some of those people found success from that movie. And if they get another movie offer where they're getting offered, you know, $200,000 to work for a month, they're going to take it. And it's going to be another horror movie, most likely. So it just gets difficult. Then there's some of us that really like to do these. You know, I mean, I get to work with the same people over and over and over again. I know, I've worked with almost every single one of those guys upstairs. Those are like my family. So I get really happy when I'm like, oh great, Arnie and Kane, awesome, I'm totally dope, that sounds awesome. And then you meet your new people and you bring them in and it becomes like a little family. So I always say, like, there's no terms of endearment fucking convention. I love terms of endearment. There's no terms of endearment convention. So is it a bad thing to be stuck in horror? You know, I mean, I don't know. Maybe everyone wants to be, maybe they want to do bigger things or whatever, but as long as you're doing what you love to do and your bills are paid. In any job, right? I think. Unless they want to be famous, and I guess you could just go and get a YouTube channel and do stupid shit and make millions and millions of dollars instead. That does sound like a lot of work. But you should see, like, I watch stuff my kid watches on YouTube, and it's like, there's something that has like 40 million views, and it's someone digging in mud, pulling out toy trucks. It's like mud, and they're making weird noises. I'm like, really? I really am overthinking this.
My grandson, 2-year-old grandson, was watching a video of a bunch of M&Ms in a box, and someone pulling them out.
That's it.
That was the video.
They watched it 1,800 times, right? But when it's on, do you catch yourself?
Oh, it's
getting
hypnotized.
stuck in it?
Oh, yeah, it's hypnotized.
So stupid. I'm in the wrong business.
Right.
I'm working way too hard for my money.
But, you know, I think, you know, getting stuck is probably not the right word, because with the kind of quality work that you've done over such a, I won't say long, I'll say esteemed career,
Thank you.
that all of us horror fans really appreciate.
Even when I do shitty movies, you guys still like them. So it's like I can't go like, oh god, that movie was really bad, because the ones that I'm like, oh god, that was bad, is someone will come up and say, I love that movie.
Some movie is always someone's favorite movie.
You know, so in horror, like, you guys give me like a get out of jail free card, where even if it sucks and I'm in it, you're still gonna come up and say, like, I really like doing it. So I try to do fun things.
And you do them well. Let's everyone give Danielle.
guys. Thanks for having me. I'm sorry about last year. Whoever came last year, I think I was really pregnant and really not happy. I'm in a much better mood this year.
We hope you liked that Danielle Harris spotlight from HorrorCon 2019. If you like what we do, what we've been giving you for free for the last 4 years, show a little support. Follow us on our social media at Invasion Remake on Twitter, Invasion of the Remake on Facebook and Instagram, and invasionoftheremake@gmail.com. And of course, tell your friends and family where to find the show. We are on a ton of different platforms. You can actually find a lot of them on our link tree on our social media sites, but we are, of course, on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, TuneIn Radio, Player FM, Stitcher, Radio Public, Radio.com app as well, and, of course, our Libsyn sites, and even frickin' YouTube. It's a little weird not having Sam here to do that with me, but even freaking YouTube, we drop every Tuesday on the podcast platforms and every Thursday over on YouTube. So tell all your friends, leave us a 5-star rating and a short review, and show your support for Invasion of the Remake. Watch our social media. We are still doing some polls for our 200th episode, coming up really, really fast, just in a few short weeks here, almost a month away now. So it's going to be you guys deciding what we're doing for episode 200. We've already run some genre polls and stuff, so we know it's going to be horror. We know it's going to be supernatural based. Now it's time to pick the movie, and you can get in on that action by following us on our social media. Specifically over at a lot of those polls are happening on our Twitter page, so check us out over there. All right, that's it. I've been Jason. I hope you enjoyed this spotlight on Danielle Harris. Until next week, I am out of here.
He was shredded to pieces. There was nothing left to possibly get back up again. I mean, taking his head off wasn't enough. Dismembering him was. I got away.
Now, what time was this?
This morning, I don't know. Reverend Zombie thought that by letting Crowley kill the 3 people that were responsible for his death, somehow the curse would be lifted, and I don't know, he would just go away. It was all bull.
According to my research, when I interviewed a voodoo priestess, and she was a real voodoo priestess.
She was a real voodoo priestess, of course.
I know it sounds crazy, but if anybody should be a believer, I would imagine it would be you. According to the legend, Victor Crowley is cursed as a repeater. Each night, he has to return exactly as he was when he died. Okay, he has to relive the night of his death in an endless cycle, over and over again. You can't kill him. He's already dead. It's kind of sad, really.
I sawed his body into little pieces. I'm pretty sure he's dead.
I don't know. The priestess said no amount of physical damage can keep him from returning again and again in his original form.
He's dead.